Hello, this is Brenda Green, and I'd like to welcome you to Living in the Go. Today I want to talk to you about 401ks and can they make you rich? Well, I would say yes, but I want to get into a little more detail with that. A lot of people have asked me about the 401k, is it a good idea or not, and I say always it's a great idea. So if you like this topic, if it's something meaningful for you, if you want to share it with someone or like it, please do. Please subscribe because again, we're spreading information to our community to make sure that we know everything there is to know about financial things. So the 401k or the Roth 401k are benefits that are given to you when you first start in the organization. Some of them have restrictions. There are some companies that make you wait a year before you can get into the 401k. But traditionally, they let you start when you first get into the organization. And what you need to look at is the difference between the two. So the 401k, again, is a benefit. You put money into it, and typically your organization matches what you put into it. But in the last few years, they've been offering Roth 401ks. The difference between the two is the 401k traditional is that they take money out of your check before your taxes are taken out. Whereas the Roth 401k, they take money out of your check after it's been taxed. And the benefit again with that is that when you retire, since it's already been taxed, everything in that account, how much it grows, doesn't matter. It's all yours and you never have to pay taxes on it again. You can't lose with that. The only reason people would do a traditional 401k is if they make a lot of money and they're trying to reduce the amount of income that they have that shows to the IRS. But if you're like most people and you're making a modest salary, if you're making under 250,000, let's say, then you might want to take advantage of that Roth 401k. Now, what are matching contributions? Again, if your company matches what you put in, that's a matching contribution. There are some organizations that have 401ks that don't match. But again, you still want to get in there because it's an opportunity for you to invest and increase your funds for your retirement. Ideally, though, you want to make sure that they're matching what you're putting in. Even if they're matching 3%, then you want to put up to the 3% or more, but you want to at least put in the 3% so they can match that. Even if they're matching 50 cents on the dollar, that's still a benefit because again, it's free money. So you want to make sure you're doing that. Now, there is a maximum contribution for every organization. And again, the maximum for your 401k as of 2020 is 57,000. However, if you're over the age of 50, that goes up to 63,500. And that's to help you catch up because you haven't been putting money in before that. Now, I will say these amounts of money are extremely high, and that's money that you contribute as well as what your employer contributes. And these maximums are for people who are making 250 or more a year. For most of us, it wouldn't be that much, but it's nice to know that there are maximums that you can do to try to get more money in for your retirement if you certainly didn't start when you were 20, let's say. There is a penalty if you take your money early, so you can't take the money out of this until you're 59 and a half. If you take it before that, you get taxed at 20% on the fund, as well as an additional 10% penalty. So if you were trying to take $1,000 out before you were 59 and a half, then you would really only get $700. And there are rules for the withdrawal because in a 401k, you can't just take the money. There have to be trigger events, that's what they're called, for you to get the money. So if you leave the job, if you die or you're disabled, if you reach 59 and a half, if there's some hardship that you have, those are reasons that you can withdraw from the plan. If there's a hardship, you have to give something in writing to justify and explain why that you're doing that. You also need to be aware of being vested in your plan. Typically, you have to be in a plan for at least 5 years in order to be vested. And vested just means that all of the money that's put into the plan by you and your employer is yours to keep. So if you're not in there for the 5 years, if you leave earlier, then you might only be able to get the money that you put into the plan, but not what your employer put in. So make sure you're aware of that as well. And the IRS does mandate when you do retire and you leave those funds in there, let's say you don't use them right away, At a certain age, if you don't start taking it, you will be penalized. So as of right now, you have to be 72, and after that age, if you're not taking money out, they're going to penalize you each and every year. So there's a certain amount that you need to take out, so you need to be aware of that when you get to that age. But I would encourage you when you retire, start using your funds to maintain your lifestyle and to be comfortable. The other thing to remember with a 401k is that your company will have investment um, portfolios that you can invest your money in. So you do have some say so in terms of where the money gets put. They won't give you the whole range of what's in the stock market, but they will have several areas that you can look at. Typically, it's Vanguard or Fidelity. Those are some of the larger organizations, Schwab. So look at that, research it, and make sure you're putting them in the best possible places for yourself. As always, I do have my beliefs, and so I'm going to share those with you. So a 401k, it's free money. If your company offers it to you, take advantage of it. There's so many benefits to doing it. And again, free money, especially if they're matching. If you're putting in 3% and they're putting in 3%, that 3% is free money. Start as soon as you can and put in the maximum, because when you do that, it doesn't hurt as much because you never see it. They take it directly out of your check before you even get paid. And the earlier you start, there's compound interest to give you more money when you have your retirement. So start as soon as possible. If you leave your company, take your money with you, but don't spend it. Just roll it over. You can roll it over into a Roth IRA if you want to. There may be options at your new company where they can take that money and invest it, but don't spend it. And last but not least, if your company doesn't have a Roth or a 401k, then you can open up a Roth at a brokerage company. And that's very easy to do. There are places like Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, so many. You can open up a Roth IRA with a small amount of money and start your retirement. But please start. There's no excuse these days not to try to have some kind of retirement fund. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope this topic was helpful for you. If there are other things that you want to hear about from me, drop me a note and I will get right on it and do the research, because again, I want to make sure that you have all the information you need to be healthy, wealthy, and successful. Have a great day.